Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. Micah is filming League of Their Own today, but we're hoping he'll join us at some point from the car a little bit later on. Before we speak about the game at Anfield, how's your weekend, Alan? Where are you?
I'm at Loch Lomond for a big charity event. There's a load of us here actually. Sir Kenny, Sir Alex, Les, Ferdinand, Teddy Sheringham. I don't know, Stephen Hendry, Ken Doherty. There's loads here. So it's a practice day today, and then the charity day is tomorrow. So
I presume you're not playing football. I presume it's something that you're not very good at.
Golf, absolutely correct. Yeah.
sounds fun though. I mean, it's a beautiful part of the world up there, isn't it?
It's amazing. We've had a lovely day today. We played this morning or earlier. We played, me and Teddy played Les and Les's friend, and all square on the last. So nice and friendly.
Fantastic. I've watched a lot of football this weekend. See, things change, but they don't change. They don't change.
I was just about to say, nothing changes then.
No, nothing changes, but there is a slight difference. I get to bed a lot earlier on Saturday night. And
you need it at your age. You need to sleep at your age. Absolutely.
You do, Alan. That's very true. And I watched a lot of football and went out for a really nice lunch on a Saturday, which is something very rare.
You should have watched Newcastle Leeds last night, and that would have sent you to sleep. Definitely.
No, I did watch that.
Oh, it was awful.
I got back for
dreadful, wasn't it? It was a terrible game.
Yeah, it was. We'll come to those Saturday games a bit later. Let's start with what we thought was going to be the big game. It was won by a spectacular goal from Dominic Szoboszlai. What a free kick that was.
Yeah.
That aside, it didn't really have a lot going for it. It was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't great. Didn't live up to the hype or the expectation we were perhaps hoping. We all got back in to watch that game, and it was. I don't know. I thought Arsenal, I should say, were very much like Arsenal at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago, hoping for a set piece to win them a game. Didn't have enough to do it in open play, but I thought Liverpool probably just shaded it and deserved to win. I mean, with a goal like that, you have moments in games, and that was a special moment. I mean, the free kick, oh my goodness, it was, the keeper just wasn't going to stop that free kick. He actually went to his right-hand side a couple of yards, but no chance. I mean, it was an amazing strike and a goal worthy of taking any 3 points.
Yeah, it really was. It didn't really look like being a goal. It needed something. It's one of those days it was either going to be a blunder or something special. Yeah. And on this occasion, it was something special, a goal that's worthy of winning any football match. But I think sometimes we read a little bit too much into things, and it's very, very early in the season, isn't it? People are finding their way, and I always think you just need to hang around for a little while, and what you don't want is a really bad start. But yeah, I don't think I can't think of any team that's really full-flown at the moment. Can you?
No, I mean, Liverpool have won 3 out of 3 without playing anywhere near what they can and perhaps should be. But I guess maybe understandable after what the players and the club have gone through in the summer. It was always going to take a little bit of time because of the grief and everything else that they've had to that they had to go through. You know, so without being brilliant, I suppose that is a really, really positive sign for Liverpool and their fans that they've nowhere near top note yet, but they've won 3 out of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And also they looked defensively better today, didn't they? Because the first 2 games, they've been quite open to the counter-attack and a little bit vulnerable in those circumstances. I thought Konate was back to his, how he was last season for much of the season. I thought he was brilliant, really played Gyökeres out the game, although it's not like he got a lot of service on this particular occasion. But yeah, they looked, I think, defensively more solid. I think in midfield they're finding their way a little bit with the Wirtz thing, but even in the little bits that he does, you can see the quality in Florian Wirtz. It's not quite happening for him yet, but it will. It will. If Liverpool fans are nervous, I suspect they're not about Florian Wirtz, but if they are, I wouldn't worry too much. He's a class act.
Yeah, I would go along with that. I'll tell you who I thought has been outstanding, by the way. I mean, they let Trent go. Well, they didn't let him go. His contract ran out. And then we're looking to see who's going to fill in at right back. Szoboszlai has been absolutely fantastic. He was brilliant at Newcastle when he played right back, and he was brilliant again today. And then, of course, he scores that incredible goal. So, yeah, I think better things to come in terms of performance from Liverpool, but results-wise, 3 out of 3, can't argue without hitting top note. I was a little bit surprised with Arsenal not playing Eze.
Do you think I thought they'd ease him in. I didn't think...
Why did he ease him in? It's not as if he hasn't played. He's played all season already. He's already played Liverpool.
Good point. I don't know. I just think that seems to be what they do now, Alan. I don't, you would think big new signing, get him in, start him, bosh. He actually had half a chance, didn't he, when he went through, and he kind of went down in the end. But I was a bit frustrated. I wanted to see him play, and obviously but he started with Martinelli. He probably thought, well, he's been in that position. We'll give him a little bit of time. But it just seems to be the way now, isn't it? They come on, they'll have 30 minutes. The next game he'll probably start and get an hour. It's almost like when they've had injuries, isn't it?
We sat having a pint with Wrighty as well, and Wrighty was, why is he not playing? It's not as if he hasn't played all season. He hasn't. He's up to speed, and he's already played Liverpool this season. So I was slightly surprised that he wasn't given the opportunity to go from the start, because I thought he did all right when he came on. He thought he was a bit of a threat. So. Yeah, disappointing day for Arsenal.
Yeah, it obviously was. I think they'd have probably been satisfied if they'd have got a draw.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, big loss losing Saliba as well. Hopefully, it's not anything too serious. But he'll be a big miss for them. So they have one or two kind of stumbling blocks along the way at the moment. Martinelli, I thought, struggled to get into the game. In fact, it was a very kind of disciplined Arsenal kind of performance that we've seen perhaps when they go away to someone like City, isn't it? I think perhaps trying to hope to, like you said, trying to nick it on a... Yeah. But is that the way you win league titles though, Alan?
Not really. No, I don't think so. I think you've got to be a little bit more pragmatic, I think. A little bit more risky football. Not risky, but more front foot, I guess. They're brilliant at set pieces. We know that, and that's what won them the game at Old Trafford, first day of the season for them. But that's not going to win you all of those games. When you look at their record against some of the big boys away from home, it's not very good. So maybe they have to play a bit more risky, no?
Having said that, it's the first time Arsenal have lost to a top 6 team in 22 games.
Never won at Anfield, never won at Etihad, won once at St James's, once at Goodison. So, although they're tough to beat.
What do they need to change? How do they
need to be a little bit more play on the front foot, I guess. Yeah, a bit more brave, I guess. Yeah. Why not? Yeah, and that results would tell you that. And also, when you're paying that much for a centre forward, then you expect him, or at least him, to be given the service to make a difference in those big games, particularly away from home. Yeah,
and I suppose in a way they miss Saka because he's injured. But I thought Madueke actually did all right, looked quite lively on the right-hand side, caused a bit of a threat at times. But I thought it was definitely going to be a 0-0. And it
looked all that way, didn't it? I mean, a piece of brilliance that won it, wasn't it? I mean, the free kick was outstanding. And it's all right saying, well, Liverpool haven't played that well, but they've had the piece of brilliance today, and you have your moments, and that is a moment that, as we've just said, it's worthy of taking any game, or taking the 3 points in any game. Yeah, looks like the Isak's going to happen, Alan. It's probably for the best now. Do you not think? Well, I don't know. Heavily rumoured, isn't it? Newcastle haven't got one of the players that they want in, so I'd be surprised if Newcastle let him go without getting another forward in. Do you think so? Really? I just thought once the Voltemade. How do you say his name? Nick Voltemade or Voltemade? Voltemada, is it? Voltemada. Yeah. Because they've got, we've seen Asula came in, didn't he? He got one goal and he caused a bit of trouble. So it's not like you've not got a striker alongside Baltimore. No, he's not. He's not ready to lead the line for Newcastle. I think potential, yes. Attitude, absolutely. You can't fault his efforts and everything else, but he's not ready to lead Newcastle in the Champions League and going forward in the league to try and get in the top 5 or top 6 space. His time may come in the future, but he's not ready to start as yet. Voltemade, I think, it can be a really clever signing, But there's also, it comes with a risk, because I think ultimately he's probably had maybe 7 or 8 months good football, not scored a lot of goals, not got great experience.
70 million, was it?
Just under 70 million. So, unfortunately, Newcastle are always, I think they're always going to have to pay over the limit, because there's a Saudi price now, and there might be an Isak price if that deal goes through. And they know that, other clubs know that Newcastle are in the hunt for a forward. So they were always going to get stung with the price. But it could turn out to be a really clever signing. Bayern Munich were after him. Top scorer in the Euros for the under-21s. Potential, absolutely. But it's a big, big ask for him to go in and lead the line as Newcastle's number 9 for the next season or two. Yeah. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm saying potential, definitely. But it's a big ask.
Yeah, tough to follow in the footsteps of Isak if he does indeed leave for Liverpool. Apparently Mark Gay, also close to joining Liverpool. I must say at this point that we're recording this whilst the game is going on between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. We're actually 15 minutes into it now. Not by the time, you'll know the result by the time you hear this, but it's 0-0 at present. Mark Gay is playing as captain, as you'd expect that though. I think as buys go, that's as safe as you can get. I think he's quick, he's a good defender, he's clearly a leader, he's hugely respected, very mature, very calm. He's got the makings of he's already an excellent central defender, but I think that could be a great signing for Liverpool.
It's mad, isn't it? It's look at football now, it's just crazy, isn't it? You've got Isak, who's refusing to play for Newcastle. You've got Wissa, who puts an Instagram post out this morning saying, in desperate move to try and force the move from Brentford to Newcastle. You've got Emi Martinez, who's not playing for Aston Villa this evening, in the hope that he can get a move to Manchester United. I mean, honestly, it's like just bonkers, isn't it?
Do you know what's wrong? The problem is...
Tell me what's wrong, because there's a lot wrong.
Well, there's a lot wrong with this, but what they need to do, they need to move the transfer window to before the season starts, because it just throws clubs all over the place. It's not right. It's just...
Why does it now anyway? Why is it the 1st of September it shuts? Is it because of the rest of them are in line with Europe? Because of their seasons don't start later?
All the European leagues have now starting earlier because they're getting more games. The Champions League, don't forget, is now spread. There are more fixtures in the Champions League. So therefore, the European clubs are starting pretty much, maybe a week later, some of them, than the English league. So they're in the same boat now. You've got, Barcelona and playing tonight. Madrid played last night. They've already into about the 3rd game of the season. The Bundesliga's been up and running a couple of weeks. Serie A's been up and running a couple of weeks. Why don't they get together and? Because it's not right for the fans and the
managers. I mean, it makes the manager's or the coach's job so difficult. I mean, you've got Keith Andrews, you've got Eddie Howe, you've got Unai Emery today, you've got others who their players are just, I mean, seriously, is that what it's come to now, that players are refusing to play despite having a long-term contract? Just bonkers.
It is. What also bonkers is that the Manchester City struggles go on.
Yeah.
I thought first half, the signs of a bit of vulnerability to the counter on occasions, but I thought they were playing some good stuff. And when Haaland got his goal, he could have had a couple of other efforts, or one-on-one with the keeper where he did poor effort. And you thought, okay, they're sneaking back. But Brighton came into it. Hertzler made some really good substitutions, turned the game. And, fantastic result for them.
Do you think a bit of the aura, the toughness? I don't know. I guess that Man City from 18 months ago, they were like pretty unplayable, unbeatable, weren't they? It's like, and do you think that's a bit of that's gone now because of what happened last season?
Yeah, I think there might be two things. I said one, the fear factor of playing City.
Yeah,
I think would be negated to a degree by the fact that people can see that they're now beatable.
Yeah.
I think the second thing, and probably more importantly, I think overall, they haven't quite got the standard of player that they've had in most of the Pep seasons. There's De Bruyne is no longer there. His powers were waning at the end. We saw that, last season. There's no, Mahrez. You can name quite a few players really that are not there now. Alvarez, another one with Atletico. Because ultimately, you can have coaches are seriously important, but ultimately it's about the quality of the footballers that you have underneath you. And I think at the moment, looking at that team, I can make a difference that Rodri's coming back because he is absolutely a top-class player. It'll take a little while for him to completely find his feet again. He's been out for such a long time. It's not easy. But I think it's a mixture of those things. But there's no doubt psychologically, Alan, teams facing City now think, well, actually, before you'd be thinking, let's keep them down to 2 or 3. But now you think you've got half a chance. It's got to make a difference.
Even when, it's brilliant for James Milner. Jesus, incredible him. What a career James has had. For him to come on and score that penalty. And then Brighton, I thought, were worthy of it in terms of the last few minutes. It was.
Speaking of penalties, Alan, Crystal Palace have got one now, and Mateta's stepping up to take it. I'm watching it in the corner of my eye, and he scores. He scores.
Good penalty.
Keeper went the wrong way. Do you know that said one of those little things that annoy you slightly in commentaries when they say he sent the keeper the wrong way? Well, I don't think you do that. I think the keeper just dives, guesses the wrong way. I don't think you ever send them.
Well, they do their homework now, goalkeepers, so they probably know. But I get that. I understand that. Yeah, but great win for Brighton, though. Brilliant win.
It was. They played. They are. Obviously it's a well-run football club, and obviously well close. Nice moment for James Milner. I thought score his first goal for a few years.
He's still hanging on. He is. He's definitely. He's the only player left that
you played against,
played with and against. We played with him at Newcastle.
What was he like as obviously we know what he's like as a player, but good lad. He seems like a proper pro.
Every football club needs a James Milner. Great attitude. Yeah. Never late. Works his socks off. Never moans and groans. Just gets on with everything. And brilliant to see him still playing. I think that tells you everything about him, that he's still actually playing at the highest level. Yeah,
I can't imagine him down in tools and not playing the day before the window closing. Exactly. I don't think that. He's old school. But it was a nice touch as well. Obviously, he's taken on the Diogo Jota shirt number this season, and he did the little celebration. He said some nice words at the end of the game as well.
Really nice touch.
Lovely moment for him. It's amazing that he's had the longevity of career that he's had. The other result that was earlier today, which I actually quite fancied this might happen. Forest getting beaten by West Ham. I know it sounds mad.
How did you see that happening?
I just saw the Nuno issues and him speaking out about the owner, and I just thought, this might end badly. I didn't see it being a 3-0, but great result for West Ham, great result for Graham Potter, and seriously important result for him. So I just had that, that silly feelings you get sometimes when you think, I think it might go a bit wrong for Forest. And I hate to talk about managers like this, but when you speak about the owner publicly,
well, there was so much riding on for both managers, I think, today. That defeat, you're right, because of what's been said with Nuno saying what he did, and with the really tough situation that West Ham have been in the first few games. They've looked dreadful, haven't they? And Potter was under huge pressure. So for them to go there and batter Forest 3.
Well, 3 in the last 10 minutes.
Well, yes, and I saw the goals as well. And Bowen's finish was incredible. The way he's walking away from the ball and then to get the whip on it in that corner. Particularly after he had the little altercation the other day, didn't he? That he was pulled back from his own fans. So for him to get the opening goal today was a massive moment. So big win for them. Big for their fans, the players, and of course, obviously Graham Potter, the manager, because he was under huge pressure.
Yeah, it's interesting with Bowen, isn't he? Because he's, no disrespect to West Ham at all, at all. But I just wondered whether he'd be a player that might attract attention. It's obviously not going to happen, I don't think, in this window. But it's one of those, and he's probably knocking on late 20s now.
I can feel and hear the West Ham fans going mad at you at this moment.
I know, so can I.
As they're listening to this, they'll all be hammering you now.
Especially his father-in-law.
Yeah, he'll be coming for you.
He'll be coming for me. No, he's coming for me. I hope he stays. He seems like one of those that loves playing for that football club. Have I made up? Have I made up, Hammers fans? Sorry. Apologies for that. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about yesterday's games, and hopefully with Micah at some point, unless he's found another fucking festival.
There's every chance of that, by the
way. Welcome back to the Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker, and possibly at some point a certain Micah Richards. But he is filming today, League of Their Own. So.
Yeah, he told us he was doing something last weekend as well, and we've seen him pissed at some festival. So God knows where he is.
It was quite good value, though. That was quite
It
fun.
was, yeah. Very good.
Yesterday's game, Manchester United Burnley was, blimey, talk about important last-ditch winners.
Unbelievable. I mean, you can imagine the reaction after what happened in midweek at Grimsby. If Man United hadn't beaten Burnley yesterday, you just can imagine what was going to be written, what was going to be said, the pressure the manager was going to be under. By hook or by crook, they had to get 3 points yesterday because...
it was a late hook and crook.
Sure, was it? Yeah, I mean, he did have hold of his shirt, I guess.
Stupid. Just let go. Before you get in the box.
Especially after getting back into the game, the way they did Burnley as well. I mean, I understand Scott Parker's frustration. I heard his interview after the game. He said he doesn't like where the game is going or where the game is.
I can understand him being upset with the offside because it was one of the... I mean, I know we've come to the stage now with the semi-automated that we might trust it and I think, but on the images, it was, hang on a minute, what? Who's offside? Where's the offside? It looks like they're level. They're level, and they're kind of measuring it from armpit hair. One armpit hair too many or something. So I thought that was, I get his kind of frustration at that completely. It could have gone one way, it could have gone t'other. But the one at the end was, you can't give them a chance to give that sort of
not the way you've got back into the game.
And also don't forget that the referee's call that's gone now. That's gone, hasn't it? Now, they've come to a point where they're sort of re-refereeing the game again. They're getting involved way more than they were early last season when they told us, no, we're just going to allow the referees to do it. And I knew it. The high bar is now low again, and I guarantee you within months or two, it'll go back up again. We're now seeing the holding thing. They're all looking for that, and they're going to give some, and they're not going to give others, and there's going to be inconsistencies. They make it so difficult for themselves.
We haven't even got on to the Chelsea-Fulham situation yet, and we're both getting rage at VAR already. I'm starting to come out in a sweat, honestly. It's like, I watched that. I watched
you will
that
on
yesterday.
The first tee tomorrow, Al.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I will do, yeah. I watched that. I mean, before. Let's tell us when we're going to talk about it, because I'm like everyone else. I am raging, and I don't even support Chelsea or Fulham or whoever. It's just like I just felt so angry at that stupid decision.
We'll talk about that in just a second. But before we move on from Manchester United and Burnley, I just wanted to. We really had the chance to talk about the Grimsby game, and I was sitting there. It was a hell of a watch. It was a classic cup tie. I thought Grimsby were amazing, particularly for the first hour or so, and then they ran out, and they looked like an inevitability about United's comeback, because obviously they got better players and all that. And then they got to 2-2. They missed a great chance to go. But and the penalty shootout was extraordinary. And I mean, United got beat. And what struck me in that, and I don't think I've been particularly critical of Amorim, because I think it's a difficult job, because I think the club's in a bit of a pickle, and it generally filters down from the top, as we've said many times. And I think he's probably a very good coach. He's probably come into a situation which he didn't realise before he took the job. But, and I have to say this, but if you're the manager and coach of a side and you hide in the dugout and not be prepared to watch your own players, some of them very young players, take penalties. I honestly, I mean, come on. This is, what was it, the second, third round of the Carabao Cup, for crying out loud? Yeah. Do me a favour. That's not leadership. That leadership is, you've got to stand up and be there for your players. And that's really important.
I thought that was a terrible look, him cowing away in the dugout, leaving some young players, some players that are making first starts. I didn't like everyone else. I thought it was an awful look for a manager to sit there hiding.
I had no problem with the tactics board thing, because they all have certain ways of doing the tactics. I'm on notes and stuff. I had no problem with that that was fine. I just think not watching your team take penalties, even if it's a superstition. I mean, no, I'm sorry. He did the same yesterday. Or he did. He wasn't watching when Bruno was taking the penalty yesterday in the last minute. I know. Slightly different, I guess. And I know Klopp sometimes didn't watch penalties, but I don't get it. And I'll say the same about Klopp. I never really understood that. I mean, because, well, it ain't going to change it for a start. And also, you need to see what your players are doing. It's something I can't quite get my head around.
And also, what I didn't understand is Šeško taking number 10 penalty, which
that was weird,
crazy, and him not starting again. Yesterday, when clearly Man United what they needed, and when you're spending 70 odd million on a centre forward and you're not prepared to put him in there after being really, really average, or an average start. So
I thought Mbeumo did well to come back.
Mbeumo was a really good player.
And he had a couple of good efforts, and he scored his goal, and obviously he'd missed the penalty as well that was costly, but he showed really balls. Good. He got in there. Really good. That's important.
I think he's a really, really good player.
Cunha's really talented as well. I think they're two good signs. Cunha's slightly different, and he can be a little bit flaky, but he looks like he's done his hamstring as well, which is
I don't think we've seen the rest. I don't think we've seen the end to that story with Man United. I wouldn't go overboard too much because they scraped a win against Burnley at home in the last minute with a penalty. So that gets them through the next couple of weeks with the international break. But I think when you look at their two fixtures after the international break, that'll tell us a lot more where Man United. Well, I don't need to know where they are. They're not good enough to finish, I don't think, in the top six. So it depends where they can finish between 6th and 11th, something like that, I guess.
No, exactly. I wouldn't disagree. Do you want to talk about VAR? Do you want a little rant?
Yeah.
Chelsea, Fulham. Where you go?
Oh my God.
I mean, that was a brilliant bit of play. He turned him on halfway line.
Fantastic play. Brilliant play from Fulham. I mean, the piece of skill to step on the ball and pull it around, then to send the ball through, then the finish. So honestly, you tell me, right? You've got two professionals, allegedly. You've got two professional
they
referees
are professionals
who were sat in the VAR room watching screens, two of them, who are meant to know the game and who are meant to be very, very good at their job. And you've got a referee on the pitch who saw the incident clearly and didn't give it, but then thinks, actually, I've made a huge error here. The guys have sent me to the screen. I've made a huge error and I'm going to overturn my decision. I mean, we can swear on here. We can't swear on Match of the Day. What the fuck are they thinking?
Fuck knows, Alan.
Tell me, you're not going to re-referee. You're not going to interfere. And it's only for the clear and obvious. Three things. Where have those three things gone? It's bullshit. Up and down. Why? Seriously, what has happened to the game that they don't want to re-referee? They don't want to interfere, and they're only going to give the clear and obvious. Tell me what's happened to those three things, please. Howard Webb, you're in charge. Tell us what has happened to those three things, because every single game you're re-refereeing and you're interfering and you're not giving decisions that are clear and obvious. Now, please explain to us what has gone wrong from when you announced it to now.
I'll try and explain on their behalf, although I can't, obviously. But I think what happens is that if you give people a little bit of power on the outside, and even if they're told, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, clear and obvious. 1 week we've got a high bar, now we've got a low. And I kept saying last season, remember at the beginning of last season, they said, right, no, this is it. we're going to do the referee's call. Now, this is where...
Yeah, referee's call.
That was it last season. And for a while, actually, they didn't interfere quite so much. But if you've got two people there and you want to get involved, it's only human nature. You go, well, actually, I think that's a penalty. And it probably is. Or it's not a penalty. But and occasionally you're going to get... But that decision yesterday was bewildering. It was bewildering because anybody... who's played, well, you don't need to play football at the top level, even watch football. Correct. It was so bewildering because it was a brilliant bit of skill on the halfway line.
But that's what I'm saying. You've got three professionals.
Don't get it.
You've got three professionals.
Yeah.
Two,
you can say
two
you can
in
make
the screens
a mistake.
And one on the pitch.
Yeah, you can make a mistake. Three people,
three of them who
mistake.
are looking at, and all three of them come to the conclusion that they think, the referee's made a howler here. We have to overturn that goal. Seriously, three professionals. Goodness me. And then to rub salt into the wound, because of that extra time, that looking at the screens and all of that, Chelsea then go and score in the extra time that's been added because of the shit decisions.
But can I ask you one question here, Anna?
Oh, my God.
Did you captain João Pedro in your team?
I think we did, so yeah.
so you were probably quite happy at that point.
Well, honestly, I was. I wasn't happy. No, I was still having a rant. Like every football fan, like every Fulham player, Fulham fan, and Marcus Silva was like, you could tell he was just thinking, what on earth has the game come to when those decisions or those goals are being disallowed? Just so it's a terrible look for our game. It really is.
It is. Even the laws of the game. I mean, I know they probably made the right decision on the handball and stuff, but under the current guidelines. But come on, someone belts a ball at your face and your arms go up to cover your face like that, and it hits the elbow. I'm sorry. I know under the way they say, make your body, and then they say make your body bigger. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but. And I understand why they've given it, but at the same time, they've tied themselves into so many knots with with these rules, these laws, and the law changes.
Couldn't agree more. It's just like...
And it flicked João Pedro's hand and his was away from his body. And that, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think, personally, I'd do away with VAR. And I would keep the offside thing because I think that will get better. It automated. It'll become, I think we'll trust it. It'll still be occasionally, we'll argue about it, and goal line technology. But that aside now, I'd either can it, but if you don't can it, the only other way, which I say every bloody week, is an appeal system where you're allowed one appeal a game or 1.5 or whatever, and you have to stipulate what you're appealing for. So, I mean, a corner comes in now, and the commentator says, there's a check for something. There's a check for something at every bloody corner.
I mean, I would love. I know it was Mike Riley back then, and I know it's now Howard Webb. But I would love for them to come and try and somehow explain to us what on earth has gone wrong with them not re-refereeing, not interfering, and the blatantly clear and obvious. Seriously, guys, where's it gone wrong? Yeah. Because that's what you told us. That's what was said 4 years ago. Was it 4 years? I think it's 4 years. That's what we were told. And apparently that's what they tell their referees now. I mean, it couldn't be further from the truth what's happening. Yeah.
No, absolutely agree. Good win for Chelsea, though.
Great win for Chelsea.
They obviously had a bit of luck, certainly a big bit of luck, because the difference between going one goal down and then obviously a couple of minutes later going a goal up is enormous. But we don't know what would have happened. A good win for Everton at Wolves. They're a good start to the season. David Moyes, he's tried and trusted, hasn't he, David?
We like David, don't we? I mean, he's been around the block. 2
more assists for Jack Grealish.
Yeah, he's had a really good start. Dewsbury-Hall as well had the great finish. So under a little bit of pressure towards the end of the game when they conceded that to make it 3-2. But they managed to see it out and get 3 big points. And delighted for Jack because he needs to play and he knows he's got a World Cup that he's got to try and push for. And he's had a really good start to his Everton career, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. A good start too for Dewsbury-Hall there as well.
Yeah, great finish, wasn't it?
He's one of our own. Well, he was for our, until we had to sell him because of PSR to Chelsea. And where he didn't really get a look in at all, did he? Understandably, because their squad is incredible, but he's a very talented player and he's got a great work ethic on the pitch. So I'm not surprised he's done well. He seems to have like a nice little bit of harmony with Jack Grealish. They could be a good partnership, those two down that left-hand side.
It was a brilliant finish, wasn't it? His finish was a roof in there. It was a great finish. So big 3 points again for Everton. So I think they could be the best of the other bunch outside of the top 8 or something like that.
Totally agree. We don't need to talk about Leeds Newcastle because that was
we don't. That's about 2 seconds too much already for that game.
But we must talk about your other favourite team, Sunderland. 2 wins in 3. What a start, really.
They left it late, didn't they? Again, I was getting some. I heard. I looked on Flicked on social media. And I was even getting grief for not being on Match of the Day last night when Sunderland won. I was thinking, how on earth am I meant to say anything positive? I'm not even on the fucking show, and I'm getting criticised.
There's a couple of interesting decisions. That thing about the wrestling in the box. Now, what will happen here? This is a prediction from me. That we'll see a few penalties, and Anthony Taylor yesterday gave them. Are on the pitch, fine. I don't let them referee the game. It's fine. Yeah. So what will happen next week will be someone doesn't give it because of that, and they'll go, well, why didn't you give it last week? And then they won't give it, and then they'll say, well, actually, we'll arrest that a little bit, and then they won't give any more for those holding.
You're right.
If they stick with it on the field? Referees on the field, if they stick with it and they do keep giving penalties, players will learn that they can't do it. But my prediction is the referees won't stick with it long enough, or they'll be too unpredictable. Some will do it and some won't do it. And it's a very difficult one.
100%. Couldn't agree more. That's always what happens, isn't it? Is that you early on in the season, you get 1 or 2 and then it slows down and we don't see as many. Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Alan, I must say we are in a league of our own. Because Mike has not pitched up again. 2 weeks running now.
Don't you worry, big Micah Richards. Me and Gaz will carry your load, and we'll do shows again on our own. And I'll also say though, Alan, that the transfer window closes tomorrow, and the fact that he's down tools in the last couple of weeks does that mean he's going to another podcast somewhere? Let's fucking hope so. Where are you, Micah? Big weeks, we miss you. Okay, well, that's it for this episode of The Rest is Football. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from me. Have a great week.